Hey everybody, this is Jen. I just wanted to show you a new book that I just got finished. It's an altered book that was a custom request, and it's really, really fat. I have these I put a gear on here, and I have these little charms coming off the gear. There's a leaf and a key, a little couple bells, and a little flower. And this is a little swan. It's held on there with a rusted safety pin. And she loves butterflies, and there's a little pink butterfly. I got that off of a perfume bottle that I had for years. And I put a Tim Holtz hitching post thing on here. My beautiful backdrop was getting ready to fall down, and then there's an eyelet on the back holding the ribbon in, and it's, as I said, very fat. So we're just going to go ahead and open that up, and we're going to start. The first page, I got her favorite colors were purple, turquoise, and yellow. So that took me just a little bit out of my comfort zone to try to work with some of those colors. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. This is the front cover, and with a really pretty image. This is a little bit of a old handkerchief with a pansy, a purple pansy on the front. Lots of layers of book pages and fabrics, and a lot of stitching around the edges. And inside the first two pages, I hope this is in focus. Basically, I have like a lot of fabrics, and I made two big fabric pockets with laces and fabrics and buttons and trims. And this is a picture of two Tim Holtz ladies. It says, "And so the adventure begins." And then on the back, there's a little sack. It says, "You are my happy place." So the problem I have with these things that I make is sometimes I decorate everything. I told people that if they come to my house and lay something down before they leave, it will probably be decorated because it's just what I do. And then when I have like a journal and I'm trying to leave space for like journaling, I I end up putting so much stuff on the pages that there is no space left for journaling. This is a few cards that are in this little handmade envelope that I stuck in here. And again, this is just a little, oh, we got another one, I guess. Just little tags that fit in this pocket and inside this envelope. So, and then it's tied with ribbon. And on the other side of the page, it's basically the same type of thing. We have a pocket and envelopes with writing space or extra paper. Now, this one I actually did pretty well. I only put a few stamps down at the bottom, and this is paper for all your journaling needs. I like to leave some space for someone to write in. I made these little tiny books that will also allow for some journaling because my pages are so heavily decorated that there is no space for journaling. So I have little tiny books to supplement that. Oh, there's Bunny. Look, he's getting little flowers. How cute. So he fits right in here. I swore to myself I was not going to say the word because the last time I watched one of my videos, that's all I heard was and I was like, okay, I am not going to do that. It says, "If you know the way, light it for others." And this is just blank paper for journaling. So there's like a lot of little tuck spots in these books that have little things. This is a little piece of paper, and then I put the heart on it to hold it closed. And just a little stamping in there. and a pretty little card that you could journal on. So hopefully I will keep up my end of the bargain and not say the word all the time, because that drives me crazy. The next page we have both, like, my pages usually go together. Like, there'll be an image on one side and then quotes or something to do with it on the other side. So there's a lovely lady, lots of um, lots of music paper, sonnets, trims, doilies, handkerchiefs, laces, all kinds of stuff. And on the other side, we have this little pocket, and it says, "By doing what you love, you awaken the hearts of others." So that fits right in this pocket. There's also some napkins decoupaged on here. And the next page, we have another lovely lady. She wanted the adult ladies and not so much the children. This back here, if you can see that, is a paper bag, and inside is a huge journaling tag. I made that by laying trim over the paper and spraying it with different kinds of sprays to make that design. This says, "She walks without a false step or any hesitation." And that is some stenciling on the back of that tag. That goes in there. And over here we have a little tuck spot or pocket or whatever. And there is a little booklet just with a heart and napkin decoupage on the outside. And then this is just extra paper that actually I didn't do anything to. This is amazing. You very rarely see empty paper. Okay, and that goes in this side pocket. And then we'll go ahead and turn the page. There are some ladies looking very lovely in their new hats. I took a bunch of buttons. These are very old buttons, and I put some string, or I don't know, yeah, I think that's actually embroidery floss, and I just laced it through the buttons and made some swirls and twirls, and that is the picture of the ladies. And then behind there is a tuck spot. It says, "Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a new hat," and that's kind of the same thing. Oh, and here's Bunny. This is a special thing on the back of this tag. And inside this little tiny pocket, it says, "About a bunny." It's very small. And you open up this little envelope. And this was Bunny's idea, because last time he put some information inside the journal that so you would know more about him. This says, number 1, loves white wedding cake. 2, likes naps. 3, trustworthy. 4, favorite books, Nancy Drew. Now, actually, I asked him who his favorite author was, and he said Nancy Drew, and I didn't want him to feel embarrassed, because Nancy Drew is a book series. She's not the author. The author is Carolyn Keene, but I didn't want him to feel silly, so I just changed it to favorite books instead of favorite author, so he wouldn't feel bad. Has a pet hamster named Meatball. So those are all some things about Bunny that he wanted to share with you guys, because you are always so sweet to remember him in the comments, and, well, he's just thrilled about that. So all that stuff fits in this little envelope behind this tag and behind this picture. So she will have more information about Bunny. And here is, this was actually a poem that was in the first page of the actual book. And it says, "Tell me, dear beauty of the dusk, when purple ribbons bind the hill, do dreams your secret wish fulfill? Do prayers like kernels from the husk come from your lips? Tell me if when the mountains loom at night, Giant shades of softer shadow, swift like blades of grass seeds come to flower. Then tell me if the night winds bend them towards me. Um, that was that was a poem that was before the dedication of the book, and I just thought it was cool, so I left it in there. And it says, I am seeking, I am striving, I am in it with all my heart. That's Vincent van Gogh. And that's just a little corner tuck, or whatever you call those things. This is my page with some beautiful gypsy women. I'm fascinated by gypsy culture. It says, share with me your gypsy heart that I may love many things. And this is a tag. It says, nothing was impossible as long as she believed. Here's another tag. This is going across the pond. So I have some British flags in here or whatever. And down here, there's a little fabric tuck spot. There's one behind here, and then there's also a little tuck spot in here on the side. And it says wander, and with a heart, you open it up. It says, Gypsy wanderers, they teach us to see the world through beautiful eyes. And I think they have the right idea about, not so much possessions, but family and loyalty among people and things like that. I am a free spirit with a gypsy soul, surrendering gratefully to wherever life takes me. So there's that tag, there's a key, some of the colors of the ribbons that she likes, and that goes, this is actually a little pouch here, so the tag slips in there. And then I have some trim down at the bottom with these little, I think they kind of look like coins or something sewn on here. And the next page, I have some embroidery. There's a lovely lady. I got that from Pinterest. And then there's a really pretty fabric down here with a embroidered butterfly. And then I tied these two pieces together. So this comes apart, and this little pocket opens up like that. And then there's this little tag thing in here, and there's a picture, and it says, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness. And that's a quote by John Keats. And then we have this page with these lovely young ladies. Looks like they're, I don't know, talking or telling secrets or whatever. It says, friends cherish each other's hopes. They are kind to each other's dreams. And this is a really old piece of wrapping paper I found at the thrift store that had a bunch of flowers on it. And there's trim and pearl, flat back pearl, and a heart that a friend of mine sent me some cutouts. That's from Jan. And lots of trims and laces. And this page is about home. And there is a man and a woman. This looks like an old rusted house key. There is a picture down at the bottom of an actual home I got out of a photo album. And there's a heart that I made with glossy accents on it. On this page, we have a picture that I did embossing on. It says home, and then down at the bottom is a fabric pocket with some things stuck in it. This has a little tiny piece of paper inside. It says, there's no place like home. Those are the famous words of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. And over here, this is actually a playing card. I really started to enjoy making these little, they call them artist trading cards or whatever, but you can get a lot of stuff on one of these, and I just use them kind of like tags in a book. So I made a little house, and there's a puzzle piece, and it says home. Then on the back, I made, and I again got this from Michelle Mulligan when we did our swap, because she had turned the back into little places where you could make pockets. And this is a fabric pocket, and it's doubled. Like there's two different spots where you can stick tags. Where we love is home, home that our feet may leave, but not our hearts. So that's one tag. It slips in here behind the fabric. And this one says, life takes you to unexpected places, love brings you home. And there are some places for actual journaling on those. And then in here, that goes in this pocket, and behind this little pocket, there's a little pocket with a bird cutout. I get those from Cindy McDermott. And inside here is a little tiny couple of pages of just, journaling paper. Nothing fancy. There's a little silhouette of a girl, and that sticks behind the bird pouch or pocket or whatever you want to say. And then we have this page, which has young love on this page with all kinds of layers of stuff, and old love, I guess we should say, or committed love on this page with, again, all kinds of layers. And this has, inside this envelope, it has that quote that I said, what does it say? In our golden years, he read me sonnets still, meaning that, the romance wasn't gone. And then on this side, there is a pocket behind him. I put sonnets on both pages, and inside this one is stars shining bright above you, night breezes seem to whisper I love you, birds singing in the sycamore tree, dream a little dream of me. I love that song. That's from the Mamas and the Papas. And so that stuck right in there. And I took a doily and sprayed over it to make those marks on the paper, because I don't know, it just seems like blank paper seems so boring, and I like to put a little excitement in it, I guess. So there's tons and tons of layering and lace and fabrics and book pages and music paper and trims. This is a little paper clip. And I sewed a little flower on the edge of it, and that holds this envelope in here. Actually, I'll go ahead and take it out. I was trying to make this a little shorter so you guys don't get bored. But this is a envelope that I got from my friend Jan Delbone. This is a napkin decoupage. I wouldn't have to say all the time if I could remember my words. And this says, in our golden years, he read me sonnets still. Because I think it's really cool when you see an older couple and they're still holding hands and sitting together and acting like they're still in love after all those years. I don't know that it happens very often, but it does happen, and I think it's very sweet. So that goes in there, and then the whole thing is just, again, the whole thing just goes behind here, and then we use this little paper clip to hold it in place. So then the next page, okay, we have this lady who I don't really know what she's doing. It looks like she's doing some aerobics, but I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. And here is a purple napkin with the beautiful pansies. I love that. They're embroidered. And here's some purple buttons, some old buttons, because actually purple was my grandmother's favorite color. She was born in February, so I think amethyst is that birth stone. and my grandmother loved purple, and she sewed a lot, and she had tons of purple buttons and stuff to go with her different suits. She was a wonderful seamstress. So that's where I found all these purple buttons, in my grandmother's stash. And there is just a really pretty journaling card down here, and a butterfly made out of lace. And then over here, we have like a pocket. Let me see, is this a flip up? Yeah. It says, "In all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous." That's from Aristotle. So I guess this was my nature page. And back here, behind the pocket, we have another playing card, and it's got a bird on it and a flower. There's a little guy in an airplane, and you pull this out, and there's a heart made out of music paper, and it says, "Follow your heart, it knows the way." And there's a pretty lady on there, and a little space for journaling. And then this is butterflies, and it says, "The earth has music for those who listen." It's a Shakespeare quote. And when she became a butterfly, the caterpillars spoke not of her beauty, but of her strangeness. They wanted her to change back into what she had always been, but she had wings, and who would want to give that up? So there's that quote. And some glossy accents and liquid pearls, I think I put on the flowers to give them a little sparkle, and on the butterfly. And this page is about like being in the garden. Down here is a page torn out from My Secret Garden. This says, "Once again filled with life." And there's a picture of a lovely lady with some flowers. This is just a little tiny pocket here with rose paper and some stamped flowers on the inside for journaling. And over here we have a big pocket with a rose down here at the bottom, and lots of tags in here. This one says, "In the garden," and inside is a paper. I took this, it's that onion paper, and I wrinkled it all up, and I sprayed it, and I smashed it, and it's a fabulous feeling. It's really cool. And it says, "Sun touches my face, the breeze so soft in my garden, the world melts into nothingness, and my soul is restored." If you like that, that's wonderful, because I wrote it. If you hate it, then let's just forget that, what I just said. But I actually did write it. And there's a couple little a bird picture, some music paper, just, little tiny things. I love tiny things. I'm always sticking little tiny things in somewhere, so when you get a book like mine, you have to look everywhere, because there's always secrets and surprises. And there's a little quote about spring on this, some writing on the back. Here's a little mason jar with a heart, and here's some actual flower seeds, forget-me-nots. Here is another big journaling card, and this says, "Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience." And that's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And this is an old stamp from my Stampin' Up! Stuff. And there is some stamping and journaling on there that you can write on the back of that. And this page, I thought that girl was absolutely beautiful. She used to be a silent film star. And I got that picture of her. And then over here is another one of those things where you untie the ribbons and this part comes open. I didn't know if she'd want to leave this pocket on here, so it's only tacked on there with a couple stitches on each side. And then there are things inside of here. there's a lot of stuff in here to see. Here's a rose on the front of a little thing of paper, and there's a butterfly, and I took a little metal piece and made his body out of that. And the back is just some trim. This is actually new trim that I just got. I love it. It's so pretty. I also got this new trim, and I love that one as well. It says, live in the moment and make it so beautiful it will be worth remembering. And there is just a rose, and this is a stamp set I think I got from Donna Turner. And so that's what goes inside that hidden place. And this, let's see here. I may have missed it. I know I had a pocket somewhere behind the pages. I'm not sure where that is. I'm going to find it. Anyway, here is another picture, and this is card that actually flips up so you can see behind the card. And this one this is why it takes me so long, because I have so many hiding places that I have to remember. Here is a tag, says who, what, where. Here is a little sack that has pink polka dots. I distressed this a little bit with some vintage photo ink, and inside the package are some little tags. There's there's France, there's Paris, and here is just London, various tags, butterflies, and all that good stuff. And then down here, inside one of the doilies, is another little tiny envelope that I like to make. And let's see here. I don't remember what this says. Within your heart, keep one still secret spot where dreams may go. Okay, that's also on that onion paper, and it's just, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of something like one of those old treasure maps would be on. It's very strange to feel, and I like that. And then behind this flap, there's a paper clip that's holding this on. The paper clip is in the shape of music notes, and this is just a little pocket, and it has some cool pictures in it. These are actual pictures I got out of a photo album of some women hanging out together. And this is just a little tiny, says find joy in every day. Just a little tiny tag. And here we have the last page. There's Bunny. There's not my bunny, but a bunny. This is Peter Rabbit having tea. And in here's a big tag that has teacups on that side. And on the other side, there's a teacup down on this fabric. And then there is a tag inside with a little butterfly. It says, come, let's have biscuits and tea and see if we can make this world a better place. I like this quote, and I use it a lot because I so want this world to be a better place. And I keep pulling for that all the time. And hopefully one day it'll pay off. And then there is an actual tea bag in here to enjoy a cup of tea. And these two things come out. And let's see here. This also is an old playing card. And behind this is a little pocket. And this is a little tiny book I made out of the pocket. This says, never underestimate the power of tea. And there's a stamp of a teacup. And there's a picture of a flower. This says a cup of tea is always a good idea. And here is a butterfly card and some little flowers, and the back has a lovely lady on it. She looks like she may be a queen or something. And then the next page, there's some napkin decoupage on a poem from Lord Byron. And this is a little tiny tag. It just has blank paper on it and some flowers and butterflies. Goes down in this little pocket. And this says, "Find joy in the ordinary." And here's another little tag with just some pictures on it. And here's another decoupage napkin on a belly band. And this is just some plain paper to write on. And I sprayed coffee stain over a doily to get that impression. And this is a piece out of a book from I think it's Lord Byron. It says, "And that smile like sunshine dart into many a sunless heart, for a smile of God thou art." I thought that was sweet. So that goes in here, and then this is just a little tiny couple pages. It's got tea party written at the top, and then in here it says, "One must always take time for a proper tea." And there's a little, this is a butterfly made out of lace. And over here is a picture of a pretty lady. And then the back has a picture of a lady taking tea. And the very last, and then this is the back cover. And it's just some doily and some old embroidered fabric. And this has been a really long video, but that's a really fat book. So I hope she enjoys it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.